The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions, and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
I'm a big fish in a small pond. Got my days free and the nights long. I create my own reality. Who I am is fine with me. As famous as I wanna be. Who I am is fine with me. It's who I am. It's who I am. Who I am is fine with me.
Hi everybody, it's Maria from What's the Story with Maria. How's it going? Good to be here, good to see you. Tonight is Tuesday, May 31st. It is really hot out today. It's about 90 degrees in, in Massachusetts, 90 degrees in New York. And Leo, what's the weather like in Idlewild, California?
It is about 76 up here.
76, that's beautiful.
Yep, 76, blue skies. I had to drive down the hill and drive through a couple of clouds the past 2 mornings. Ooh, but it's
so
beautiful.
nice.
Dry, though. Dry. I do miss my humidity. I have to say that.
Well, I gotta ask you, what was it like weather-wise being back in New York? Is it very different? And now you're back in Idlewild.
It was sweaty.
In New York?
In New York, it was sweaty, yes.
Always.
I feel like, the desert heat does something to, brown Latin skin. It makes you feel more like, Indian Joe, or Native American Joe, sorry.
Yeah.
But when I was in New York sweating, I felt like I was 16 because I was so smooth and
right,
and moist and beautiful with a big old beard. Yeah.
Oh my God, I love it. Look who's joined us, Rena Crinali-Berg.
Hi, weather girl.
And there's a little rainbow. She's got a little rainbow going there. I guess the weather in Massachusetts is nice, right? That's a beautiful place to be. Hey, Kenny Holcomb. Hi, y'all, he says.
Hi, Kenny. Happy belated birthday.
Kenny is in When was Kenny's? Did we miss it?
I thought there was a posting that a couple of days ago for his birthday. I thought I saw.
Really, Kenny? Did I miss your birthday, or did I?
Or am I wrong?
Post something on you all? I don't know. Now I'm confused. But Kenny does post amazing stuff. So the weather's been beautiful. Well, New York's been really hot, but today especially. It was March, right? That's what I thought you were.
Okay, what was it posted then?
Yeah, I don't know. He posts all kinds of fun stuff anyway. So we've been talking about kids a lot because Leo teaches, I teach. Okay, cool and dry in Massachusetts tonight. Nashville is a hit. All right. There's so much tonight. We're really going to be packed with so many amazing things. We have our guests are Gerry Geddes, who's an amazing actor, director, producer. He does a lot of things, and he is directing and producing these great events that are going on downtown. And also, I called my old boss, my amazing friend, Cathy Spies. They are doing their big production at the Mayo Performing Arts Center. Once again, they're back. So I'm calling tonight, the name of the episode is A Tale of Two Comebacks. Because anybody, we're doing great now, right? The clubs are back to capacity. You look at the outdoor restaurants, they're full. New York is full. I'm sure wherever you are, I'm sure Massachusetts, the restaurants are full. All kinds of things. And I was thinking about this today because, Leo, I'm sure this happens to you, where on your Facebook wall, things will pop up like a memory a year ago. Mm-hmm. Years ago, and you're like, I can't believe we did that. It's just, it was a lot of stuff. And so I'm just so happy that people are really thriving now. And the theaters are thriving and clubs are thriving and the arts are booming in New York. We went to see, I wish you were with us, Leo. We went to see Tina, the musical on Broadway.
I got the video you sent me of our boy.
Oh my God. That was incredible. And our friend, John Bronston, who I work with on Mondays, Susie and I work with on Mondays, he works with us at Mondays is Stonewall, he works with us. Brandy's is Saturdays. He works with me and Lauren and Bobby Belfry. And he's just such a humble, amazing, helpful.
Sweet.
Yeah, sweet, smart, musically talented guy. And he made his Broadway debut, on-stage Broadway debut, because he's been working in the pit for a while now, months and months. But at the very end of the play, it turns into a concert, a Tina Turner concert.
Oh, nice.
Oh, it's because they do her life story. It's really intense. And then what they do is at the very end, they have her making her comeback, and as Tina, without the Turner or anything like that, just Tina.
Yeah, just Tina.
And it's amazing. And then they bring on the band. The band is like levitated up, from the bottom. And there he was, our friend John. I burst into tears. I was so proud of him. And then I'm thinking, wow, like his dream came true. His Broadway dream came true.
Yep.
And he's just such a sweetheart. So
I think the day after he posted something, I remember him saying that I guess it affected him on the subway when he was like 13. Yeah, and
when he was
like
by himself. Yeah, because a bunch of us, maybe like 20 of us, went to support him.
That's awesome.
And we all got Frank, his husband, got a block of tickets there that we all purchased. He was just like, I'll reserve this block. And then the great news was that, the ushers, you can't take pictures or anything like that. But at the very end, Frank ran up to us. He's like, in between acts. And he said, at the end, they don't stop you if you want to film concert. They let you.
Okay.
That's one thing that they're okay with. So what I did was I started filming it from my seat, and then I was like, the hell with this, because I was in seat U. I went out and I ran all the way up to the front to stage left, and there he was. And
that's the video that I got.
That's the video I sent you. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's really amazing to see someone's just be part of the experience of someone's first whatever, like their first, this was their debut. Like, we'll never forget it. We have video of it and pictures, and then afterwards we took pictures, and they all went to Don't Tell Mamas. I had to go because I had to work at the duplex. But speaking of the duplex, Barry Silber, hi Barry, my friend, says, miss the duplex. Barry, we miss you too. I wonder if you're coming up this way again. I will tell Gerry Mpac that you said hello. He's friends with Gerry. Everything's back in full swing. As a matter of fact, so much so that everybody's short-staffed. I mean, everywhere.
Even airplanes.
Even airplanes. I was in Florida a few months ago. Susan Campanero was going to meet me there. And we were at Captain Salvio's, and she was at the plane, and it was delayed by 6 hours because they didn't have a pilot. Because the one they had was tested positive for COVID. And they just don't have enough backup.
Well, on my way back from New York, my flight was canceled, the first one, and then I had to rebook that second one, which delayed me a little bit. I missed a birthday party, but it was all right.
Well, listen, you can
always... Hey, I hit the important one that weekend.
I cannot believe you made it. You made it, and not only did you make it, but you hit everything that you wanted to hit. All your friends. Yep. You went to all the fun things that you wanted to see. You were everywhere, and everyone celebrity spotted you.
That was the craziest part of it, is walking up to somebody humbly to introduce myself, and then going, hi, you're Leo. And I was like, oh my goodness.
That was exciting. And Jen Day was in town at the same time. That was great. Barry says, yes, I'll be there July 4th. Barry, I can't wait to see you.
Oh, awesome.
Can't wait to see you.
And one of the best things I got to do that whole week, harass Billy. I saw him at the Monster, and I was behind him.
Billy.
I was behind him while he was playing, and I took pictures of him. And then he would turn around, and I wasn't there. And then I would show up behind him. You know how I love to harass him.
Billy, you know what? It's good for Billy to be harassed. Keeps him on his toes. Okay, Sylvia Santoro has joined us. My great friend Sylvia, who I adore, of the Santoros of Paramus.
I remember them. They sat, they're royalty, the way they sat right there. I believe
that's
they're
right.
royalty.
They certainly are royalty. And Taylor Patty has joined us. Taylor is an amazing singer. She was in John Bronson's production of Hair, all African-American. It was a concert that they did. John's been doing these concert series at Stonewall.
How was that? I really wanted to hear that.
Cast. It was incredible. the hair. He did Hello Dolly. I don't know what he's doing next, but I go to all of them because they're amazing. So Barry Taylor, Catherine Salvia, we were just talking about you.
Hi, Catherine.
It was great that you went, Leo. Yes, it was.
Darn it, babe. I was waiting for you to show up, Catherine, so we could do our duet.
I know.
Girl.
But another time, you know what I'm telling you, Leo, I can't wait to come out to Palm Springs.
We're going to have so much fun.
We got to get a group together. We go to Palm Springs. We'll go see some stuff at the theater, the beautiful theater there. We'll go to Paul Bar and get some delicious dinner.
Hey, we'll go to Mel England's house and shout at his front door.
Harry Ray's house.
Come on out.
Who else is out there? There's a bunch of people.
Rachel Lansing's out here.
Rachel Lansing is out there. A bunch of great people are out there.
From the hometown of Alana Go Boom.
Alana Go Boom is from there. You're right.
That's right.
Oh, she's just incredible. I just love. Can I shout out enough about Alana Diaz? We have gotten to be amazing friends. We worked together in Jersey, in piano bar, and now I have just recommended to her every piano bar, and she's subbing at all of them.
Yeah, our buddy Miles and her have a permanent Tuesday. They're working tonight, I believe.
Tonight, and they usually pop on, so I'm surprised they haven't popped on. They will. Okay.
Oh, Mario Davila. Oh, there was a
Where's
handsome
that
man.
hunky Mario?
There was a handsome man right there.
He's popped in?
Yep.
Oh,
He
my
said,
God. Could you just die how gorgeous Mario Davila is.
I almost did. Right there on that stool.
I know. I'm telling you. Today, Mario, got to tell you something funny. Today I was with Susie. I was substitute teaching with her at another location that we work at. That she works at, and I was substitute teaching. And she uses her calendar. She uses her show calendar, and she had it literally these are flipped. And who was on the back? Mario. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh my god. She just pulls it right out. There she was. Mario, you were in the Bronx today. I hope you know that. Just
a bit cheeky you are, Mario. Hey, Mario, we got to watch Obi-Wan, Mario. We got to catch up some episodes.
We have so much to do this summer. We have so much to do.
I think I got to plan a fall trip. I think I got to come back in fall.
Absolutely, and we will do more, and we'll have another party, and maybe I'll have a house party like I usually do. Now we'll have one of our musicians.
Food and music, yeah.
What's better than that? And hotties.
Food and music, and you know what? Like you said at your party, in that big city that we're building together, it was so much love. That's what was. New York was great, but that community of people that we know, that was just the best room to be in that night.
Absolutely. You know what? I've always said my fortune is in my friendships, and it couldn't be more true.
And at a building that represents love and those stone bricks that have kept our
absolutely
path going. Stonewall.
For Friday, I'm going to be working the door at Stonewall. I'm so excited about that. At night.
Oh, fun.
To 4 a.m. Yeah, I'm going to be working the door. So
don't mess with Maria.
No. Don't you dare. Stop by and say hi. Okay. Shall we forge ahead, Leo?
We should.
All right. So our first guest tonight is a wonderful, wonderful person that is very talented, and I've seen a lot of shows that he's directed. And he is a very sweet, grounded, calm personality.
I'm a little jealous of him that he's hanging out with my colleague Yaz and holding little Axel.
Yes, and Aaron Lee Battle, who we love. And he's going to tell us all about the 2 projects that he's working on. So why don't we, without further ado, let us bring on our friend, Gerry Geddes. There he is.
Hi, guys.
Hi, sweetheart. Good to see you. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Yay.
I'm feeling good.
Well, Gerry, I got to tell you, I saw on Facebook, I'm so glad it popped up in my events, that you are really busy right now.
I am. Sometimes I'm Still Here has taken on whole new meanings for me now that I didn't know before.
Okay.
I'm taking advantage of the time. Yeah.
You are doing a Sondheim show, but what you just said, tell everybody why that's so important.
Well, in December, I had bypass surgery, and it took a while. I'm way ahead of schedule on getting back into the world, according to my doctors, so that's good. But I'm working as much as I can because I love it, and it's what it's all about.
And it makes you so you had open heart surgery in December.
Yes.
And it is now it's not even 6 months later and you're back.
Right. I've been back for a couple of months, actually, so yes.
Back doing what you love, what we love that you do. You have such a great eye, and you really are so wonderful at taking other people's talents and showcasing them in the best possible way.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's what
I really love that about your directing. So why this project, Gerry? Why now? What was it about this project? Did they approach you? Did you design it?
3 years ago, actually, Pangea decided to have a Pangea Pride Week.
Okay.
Right about 3 years ago. And they asked, I directed shows there and reviewed shows there for Bistro Awards that I write for. Mm-hmm. And Stephen, the owner, asked me to do something for their Pride Week. So I wanted to feature gay men I knew in cabaret, because I figured a lot of people who don't know cabaret think of cabaret as women, as the divas, as this, and I wanted to have a showcase. Plus, I wanted to have a gay pride evening that would reflect me, so I picked singers that I loved and people that I loved to perform. And it was such a hit, we did it a second time that summer. And then in the fall, they offered me a residency there to do the first Friday of every month, doing anything I wanted to do.
Wow.
Based on that show. So we renamed it Fabulous First Fridays, and everybody in the cast pretty much stayed. And we have continued, the cast has changed here and there, but it's basically a core repertory group. And I helped to pick the songs, and I put in stories that I've written as well. At the time that I started the show, I was writing a memoir of my life in New York. And I took a few stories from that, gay pride related, and put them in those two shows. And they were such a hit that became one of the standard things in the show. So I put a story or two in each week that I did the show.
Now, when you write a story, which they're autobiographical stories, obviously.
Yes, it's the book. It's from a book I wrote. I finished it during COVID. I took advantage of the lockdown and finished the memoir. It's called "Didn't I Ever Tell You This?" And it's about my life in New York from '67 to '95.
Wow!
And a lot of politics, a lot of theater, a lot of cabaret, a lot of sexual politics, a lot of culture, all kind of blended together through my life.
Oh, that's wonderful.
They've been so successful that I actually, since a couple months ago, did my own show called Selfies and Songs, which was an entire show of stories. But I had three friends, singers, be the illustrators for my stories, and they did a song that was related to each story after I told it. So that's going to be...
That was my next question, and you answered. I was going to say, do you read the stories?
Yes, I do them on stage, spoken word, yes.
So you do a spoken word on stage, and then a singer...
Interspersed with singers, and they're related usually in some way or another.
Oh my God, that sounds amazing.
Either somebody I spoke about, or an event I spoke about, or a feeling that I spoke about is related in the song that follows or came before it. And there'll be a couple of them in this Friday show, which is the 2022 Pride edition of what became Fabulous First Fridays. With COVID and with everything else, of course, we had to stop for a long time. And I've been dying to get this show back on its feet, so this will be the first time back.
Yeah.
And so it's got my genius friend George Winters, who is one of the funniest songwriters in New York. He wrote this show for which I won the Bistro Award for Best Director called Monday in the Dark with George.
Oh, wow.
And you've heard a lot of his songs in various cabaret shows, I'm sure, over the years.
Yes, I have.
And new to the company this week is Aaron Lee Battle.
Who we love.
And, yes.
Leo and I are both big fans of Aaron's, and he was amazing at the Mpac Awards.
Yes.
He was amazing.
Yes. And then two friends of mine, Matt Pasquale, who was at this year's Bistro Awards, singing in tribute to Jimmy Webb.
Oh,
and he won a Bistro a couple of years ago, but he's one of my regulars and a great friend. And a guy named Brian Childers, who is another great singer, who you might know. He has a bit of a history in New York. He played Danny Kaye for a number of years in an autobiography musical of Danny Kaye's life that ran for quite a while in various venues. So it's the four of them, plus as your partner mentioned earlier, Yasuhiko Fukuoka, who is one of my favorite piano players, and I work with him all the time.
He played at the Mpac Awards, and we did
Oh, that's right. He did musical directing on the Mpac Awards. That's right, yes.
But also Leo Leo Rodriguez,
my musical Broken Moments, a bar musical.
Yes.
Yaz was my first accompanist
nice.
when I produced the show in the Lower East Side in an actual bar, and
Nice.
that's how I got to meet Yaz.
He's a Drama Desk nominee
He's amazing.
for
He was
orchestration
amazing.
with Mark Hartman. The two of them were nominated for the same show. They worked on the show together.
He's amazing. He was so talented then, and he's only grown.
And also the sweetest guy and the best energy going.
Well, that's what I was going to say. His energy is beautiful, and so calm and non-threatening, and
this is a perfect display of that because he plays for each different person and exactly what they need.
Yes, that's
effortlessly. He just does
it.
Me,
that's a great accompanist.
Yes,
a singer's accompanist, because singers are, as we all know, they're talented people, but they're also insecure.
Yeah,
it's so great when you have someone that is the wind in your back.
Yes,
I've been blessed with many amazing musical directors and also people that I work with in piano bar. And when I met Yaz, I was like, what a great guy.
Yes.
And I knew he had worked with Leo, so that was really cool. I want to take a minute, because Andy Prasky, who's one of our great friends and watches every week, has joined us. He says, hello, everybody. Hi, Andy. How are you?
Hi, Andy.
He's a producer and a director on a
Andy.
commercial and film level. And he's just a great guy. We love him. Connor Weiss has joined us. Hello, Connor. Billy Young has joined us. Hey, Billy. Billy pops in from week to week, and we appreciate everybody that comes back and sees us. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anybody, and then we'll continue to talk about this. So, Gerry, did you choose everyone yourself?
I do, yes. And this time, because of timing and because of my hospitalization and recovery and all that, I never got to do anything at the time of Sondheim's passing. So the opening section of Friday's show is going to be a Sondheim tribute, with each of the guys doing a gender-bending song that was made famous by a woman.
Oh, wow.
And so some funny, some moving, and then
I love song. Who doesn't love song?
Well, yes.
But it's not just what I love about Sondheim is as a songwriter, I am just blown away by everything he does, lyrics, music.
Yeah.
And then as an actor, what a joy to perform his pieces.
Well, his pieces are one-act plays, basically. You can do so much with them.
Song of all time?
Song? God.
Is it hard to
a couple. Someone in a Tree is one.
That is intense. That's an epic.
Send in the Clowns, because I'll name drop for a second. I was very good friends with Sarah Vaughan, and that was her favorite and one of my favorite songs of her singing it. So I always think of the two of them together. So
oh my goodness! I'll have to go back and listen to that. I'll have to YouTube it or something.
There's a version of her doing it on the Boston Pops with John Williams. That's the best thing she ever did.
Oh my God! I'm definitely going to go check that out after.
And then I think, just personally, The Road You Didn't Take from Follies I really liked a lot. But all the great ones too. But most of the ones we're doing on Friday are lesser known, not the War Horses for the most part.
So it sounds to me like when people are coming to your show on Friday, which we need to talk about how they get tickets, how they get there, all that it's not just a bunch of songs that people are doing, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there's really so much thought behind this.
Well, I wanted it to have a shape, and I wanted the stories to be surprising to people who were coming expecting a bunch of people singing a bunch of songs. And so I tried to make what I do a connective tissue between it and give it a journey and a through line that it might not have otherwise. And I do that in song choices as well. But I don't want to give the wrong impression. The Sondheim is the opening section of like 1/3 of the show. But then we'll get into actual... Oh, there she is.
There she is. Just amazing. When I was a kid, Gerry, my dad, he still is a jazz buff, but he was a huge jazz guy. And he was a DJ for a while on the weekends for a jazz station. And so I grew up, I grew up listening to all these amazing, and Sarah Vaughan was played in my house on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So
she's been my favorite singer since I first heard her.
And the richness of her voice. And deep it is.
And getting to know her is one of the joys and
How did you
privileges
get
of my
to know
life.
her, Gerry?
There was a wonderful man you might know from New York Life called Robert W. Richards, who's no longer with us, sadly. He was a great artist and a wonderfully witty writer, and we worked together for 10 years on a magazine called Torso Magazine, which was kind of a gay Playboy magazine. And we used to laugh and say we did the things that people bought the magazine to read. They didn't really want to just look at the pictures. They wanted to read our column.
Well,
So we
like,
had...
what, remember?
Yeah, we had 10 pages every month that we just covered music and theater and film and fashion and whatever else we wanted. And I considered him my Uncle Mame because I met him when I just got out of college. And he took me under his wing and brought me into New York nightlife and gay life. And he was a good friend of hers. So through him, I became a good friend of hers as well. And we would hang out together when she was in town.
These are amazing stories.
Yeah, that's in the book.
Yeah, no, okay.
But anyway, I don't want to mislead. The show Friday is not a Sondheim show, though. So it's mainly a gay-related show. There's some cultural stuff, some political stuff, some romance stuff, and I purposely I wrote 2 stories for this show this week because I heard that the church, in response to the church, meaning the capital C, the monstrous political church, wanted to combat Pride Month. So they declared June to be Celibacy Awareness Month.
Oh my gosh. Come on.
So I decided to make my 2 stories for this Friday the most sexual of anything in my book. I wanted it to be about how the sexual revolution, the gay revolution, and the political revolution are all entwined. And the freedom and the equality is equal on all those levels. And so I've reminisced of things in the 70s of bars and pickups and all that. The gay life in New York, not the political side, but the social and sexual side.
Wow.
So that's the intent of this, is to like put my finger in the eye of the church. But
good for you. Leo Rodriguez has a question.
Yes.
Do the church know their priests? I just want to just saying. I mean, I love church, love my music, love it, but just...
You know what is so sad, and we won't spend too much time on this, but it's worth noting, that I feel like most of us are very drawn to God as a being, as a
spirituality, yes.
And we all need it so badly. It's too bad that a class of people that have a vehicle to really show us who God... Well, shed a light on what God could be, and instead really use it to divide. Because I wasn't raised that way at all. I went to Catholic school. My mother was extremely spiritual, so I was raised to love God and know that God was in my heart and in other human beings.
Yes.
But this whole, as a matter of fact, and otherwise we're going to get so. Well, let's not. I'm not even going to bring it up. There's another thing with a church radio station. Now they're going off the air. We'll bring it up next week.
Sister Alice used to tell me God is love, and love has many possibilities, and nobody should be putting any rules on how we love.
Yeah, I know, and that's another topic for another show. But so, Gerry, give us the details.
So I guess the simplest thing would be to go to the Pangea website, and just click on the calendar for Friday at 9:30. It's called Fabulous First Fridays, the 2022 Pride Edition.
Okay.
And we'll start at 9:30. It lasts about an hour and 10 minutes or so. The food is great. The drinks are great. The staff is great. I love Pangea. It's an old school New York cabaret. It's supportive. It's friendly. It's elegant. It's casual. I love being there as an audience member, as a director, as a reviewer. Anytime I can go there, I go there. It's like a family.
Okay. And where is it located, Gerry?
It's on 11th Street, 2nd Avenue between 11th and 12th.
And that was right around the corner from Viniero's.
Yes.
It's one of my favorite bakeries in all of New York.
Yes.
So stop by, if you're in the neighborhood afterwards, stop by Viniero's.
Yeah.
A lot of great restaurants down there, but Pangea is also a restaurant, right?
Yes, has great food, yes.
Okay.
And also, it's if you get tickets online through clicking on their calendar, it's $5 less than the night of the show. So.
Oh, well, that's good to know.
Tickets in advance are $20, and then they're $25 at the door in cash. So.
Okay, great.
And then on Saturday, I have another show that Yaz is the musical director for, of a drag artist that I work with, a good friend of mine, named Julia Van Cartier. who was a contestant back in the Metropolitan Room days of New York's Next Top Drag Queen, and actually won the New York's Next Top Drag Queen All-Star show.
Wow.
And we have been working, we do a Christmas show that's a little bit legendary, I guess, called We Three Queens, with she and Strawberry Fields and Ruby Powers. And we've done that for 6 or 7 years now. But this is the first time that Julia's performing with a quartet and doing a lot of live singing and some R&B and some jazz, in addition to comedy and a couple of lip sync things. And it's in a great new room called Chelsea Table and Stage. I don't know if you've been there yet. It's in the Hilton Hotel on 6th Avenue, on 26th Street, between 6th and 7th. It's downstairs, and it's gorgeous. It's a beautiful room. It seats maybe 100, 120. Wow, and it's really beautifully laid out. Got a great stage. It has a small menu, nice bar, but a great place. And I'm really excited about her being there, because it's going to be a great show.
And you've directed that show, Gerry.
And so I've been busy with that as well. Yes, I helped to write it. I have to write it, and I'm directing it.
So, you went from having open heart surgery in December to directing a great show that's successful, and also a residency at Pangea, which is amazing. And so it's this Friday.
And doing my own show at Don't Tell Mama 3 months after the surgery.
Oh my God, Gerry. Wow. That's incredible. And I'm assuming
the bucket list gets more urgent after open heart surgery.
That's really intense what you just said. And you know what? I think anybody that's been to that end of where you are faced with something like that has two choices. You can either completely hang up your boots and say, well, I'm not even going to try anymore out of fear, or say, you know what? Like you said, a bucket list. These are the things I want to do, and I'm going to do them. And you're
also, I love this so much. I love music and cabaret. I've been doing it for so long, and I love it so much that it's medicinal.
Yes.
If I were to sit home, I wouldn't recuperate as quickly, but the energy of this revitalizes me. So
you know what? As people in the music industry, people always say to us, Lynn Portis just joined us. She's my musical director and one of my best friends. We talk about this all the time, that, people say, aren't you tired? You're working again. You're doing that again. We love what we do. Right. So, and even on my days off, sometimes my girlfriend will say to me, well, what do you want to do? And I'll say, oh, I'd love to go to an event, like a musical thing. She's like, but that's what you do. I'm like, but that's what I love. Yeah. So the thing is, and people ask all the time, like, that's what makes me happy. Music makes me happy. Yes. I do want to, Andy Prasky said, going back to talk about Send in the Clowns. Send in the Clowns, the best when an older performer sings it. I saw Glynis John sing it, stop the show, glistening blue eyes, just nailed it.
I saw her do it 10 times. Yes. I loved her in it. Yes.
Yeah. And I agree, there's certain songs that have, like, for instance, the song, the Joni Mitchell song, Both Sides Now.
Both Sides Now, absolutely. I agree with you totally about that.
One of those songs that when I heard it as a younger person, it meant something. Yeah. But boy, does it mean something else now.
Do I have time to tell you a quick story about Both Sides Now? Go ahead. I was working with a singer who was just beginning. He had done some theater, but never done cabaret. He was a friend of our friend Arthur Montgomery's. And I sat down with him, and he, in the course of talking in the evening, he said, what is this thing called phrasing that people keep talking about? And I said, I'm going to show you rather than tell you. And I played him Judy Collins' version of Both Sides Now, which was a hit and really, really nice. But then I put on a video of Mabel Mercer singing. And it was so early in Mabel, when Mabel recorded it, it was still called Clouds. It wasn't called Both Sides Now yet.
Wow.
And at the end of the song, as he reached for the tissues to wipe the tears from his eyes, I said, that's phrasing, what Mabel Mercer did with that song. Because she told the story in every single line. Wow. Her whole life was lived in that song.
And you know what? Wow, that's beautiful. And that's a great, what you did was see a teacher would do that. You're a teacher.
Yeah.
Also, Joni Mitchell's, when she redid that album, I can't remember the name of the album now, but it's much later in life.
And with the London Symphony, or a full string orchestra, yeah.
It was incredible.
Travelogue. Travelogue. I think
Okay,
it's called.
I highly recommend going back and listening to it. It's the cover is a painting of her with a singing at a bar, and her voice has changed drastically for whatever reason, and she, to use your word, phrases it completely different.
And well, on that album, to me, the standout. I love her doing Both Sides Now, but what she does to Woodstock on that album. It's like an elegy for an entire generation. It becomes a funereal song. It's not a joy.
And feathered canyons everywhere.
Don't call it. But then Joni Mitchell. So who wrote it, right? Joni Mitchell
wrote it, yes.
Yeah, and then the album, the later album, the Joni Mitchell album.
The Travelogue album,
Oh my God, and the orchestration, the arrangement is divine.
Yes, I agree completely.
All right. Well, Gerry, thank you for taking the time to pop on our show.
Thanks for inviting me. I had a great time.
Oh my God, and we really wanted to get the word out. And I'm just like so amazed that you bounced back and you're out there and you're doing what you love. I'm not, yes, I'm amazed, but I'm just like so moved by it, and
thank you.
Your devotion to what you do. So thank you from all of us. Keep doing what you do because I love your work. I respect it, and I hope to see more of it.
Great. So, and I hope to see you soon.
Yes.
Not electronically, but in real life.
Yes, that would be amazing.
All right, great. Nice talking to you.
Sweetheart. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Gerry Geddes, everybody. Our friend Gerry Geddes. Thank you, Gerry. Wow, that was, I could talk to Gerry for hours. Okay, so now, Andy Presky says, Both Sides Now, Gerry Scott. Yep. Gerry Scott sang it at a birthday performance. He just lost his partner, Gavin. There wasn't a dry eye in the house. Yep, I believe it. I mean, when I hear that song, it stops me in my tracks now. Yes.
That's your favorite Sondheim?
No, my favorite Sondheim is actually, I remember the sky. It was blue as ink. But at least I think gives me chills. I remember Sky. What's yours?
There's so many, but I think from my heart, the understanding of what it takes to get something done, step by step, putting it together.
Yeah.
The work, the art, and what you go through when you write a song, when I wrote a musical, and just what people say and how to get it there, and everyone has a suggestion, and everyone has this and that, Yeah,
the best version of that I ever heard was on Barbra Streisand's Broadway album.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of my favorite ones.
You can't touch Babs. You can't.
No, but Mandy Patinkin, though, the golden voice of Mandy Patinkin, they made an impression. That song did.
Type if you feel like it, folks. Type in your favorite Sondheims. I'm a big fan of Sondheim. So.
Hey, you better straighten up there because your boss is in the green room, Miss Lady.
No.
Yeah, she's in the green room there.
Oh my God, my teaching idol of all time.
And she's got some handsome guy with her, so it must be.
Oh, I think I know who he is. Okay, right. Should we bring them in?
I think so.
Spies, and I'm suspecting it's John Rodriguez. Oh my goodness! Hi, Chuck Santoro.
I have Charles Santoro, our musical director, conductor for School of Rock, with me.
Oh my goodness! I have a friend, and we call him Chuck. He's also named Charles Santoro, but we call him Chuck. So I'm sorry, Charles, that
I'm calling you Chuck.
That's fine.
So this is Cathy Roy Spies, everybody. She is the director of education at the Mayo Performing Arts Center, and she also is just an amazing director of these gigantic, enormous, epic productions that I and many, many, many other people look forward to every year. And Charles, you've directed quite a few of these shows now, right? Musically directed?
Yes, a couple now. West Side, Shrek, Grease.
Now this, yeah. Yeah, we're back after a 2-year hiatus.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's what I want to. So, by the way, my favorite, I've seen a lot of the productions over the years, but my favorite was West Side Story. I can't help it. It was just the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It was beautiful. I actually am wearing my West Side Story shirt tonight.
I love it.
Honor. So, okay.
Do a School of Rock one.
I can't. I'll get it. Oh, I'll get that. I have all of it. So that's what I wanted to talk about. This is a comeback. We've all been waiting for this, and I'm sure no one's waited for it more than you two. So let's talk about that. First of all, when is it, so people can put it in their calendars? Jersey people, even New York people, put this in your calendar. You have to go. It's going to blow your mind, the enormity of this production, because they do epic productions here. So go ahead, Cathy, tell us.
Yeah, it's this weekend, Friday at 7:30, Saturday 2 and 7:30, and Sunday at 2.
Okay.
So, yeah, and Leo's song was perfect because we're just in the middle of tech. We have our 2 dress rehearsals tomorrow and Thursday, and open on Friday. So it truly is like putting it together. So.
Only way to make a work of art.
Yeah, that was a perfect intro for us, Leo.
Leo's wonderful with this. So, okay, so what do you want to tell us, Cathy? I mean, I got so excited that it was back, and I'm so excited that John is the lead, John Rodriguez.
Yeah, he's amazing. He is
amazing.
So the background on that, I saw when I first saw School of Rock on Broadway. Obviously, I've known John forever. He was my student when he was a teenager, and the first thing I'd said the whole time I was watching was like, oh my gosh, John has to play this role. John has got to play this role. So I went back to him and I was like, John has to play this role. John, you have to play it. So Charles and I have been wanting to do it, but first we couldn't get the rights, and then we were, then it had to be 18 and under, but then now you can have somebody over 18 as long as they're, affiliated with the organization.
Okay.
So, but we were always a little unsure. Charles actually was involved in the show on Broadway. He played a lot of the rehearsals and whatnot, so he knows the show really well. And then we were, obviously there's just certain casting, requirements, finding kids that can really play the instruments.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. That must have been a challenge.
It was. We thought it would be more of a challenge than it is. We were like, we hit the jackpot. We got great kids.
They're so great.
They're amazing, right?
So great. So great.
And we've had really wonderful mentors for them. So they've been taking lessons since we started in March, like weekly. Our little drummer, 11-year-old drummer, has been taking drum lessons with our pit drummer, which is amazing.
Wow, really?
And our guitar player and our bass player, although they all, they've been playing for a few years, they haven't been playing this score. They haven't had to memorize something like this, Mm-hmm. So they've been taking lessons with our guitar player from the pit, and Charles has been working with the keyboard player. So, and they sound fantastic. In fact, one of the rehearsals, when they took over and really started playing for the first time, I just was like thinking, I really thought we were playing the recording for the rehearsal, and I looked up and they were really playing, and it was amazing. And I just my eyes filled with tears. I'm so proud of them. They're just fantastic. And all the kids, the other School of Rock kids too, they've just been such a joy to work with, the whole cast. John is outstanding. All the supporting roles, they're just, I think we all are just, we're so happy to be back doing it. Everybody's just so invested in what we're doing. And it's just it's just a perfect message, because it really reinforces just the transformational power of participating in performing arts and music, the power of music. And, it means so much more to all of us, I think, because we've missed it. We've missed
totally 2 years
live on stage.
Well, that's what I want to ask you, because it has been 2 years. So that's 2 productions. And I think about those kids, that were coming up and were so ready to do a production. And how excited all the teachers get, and the community gets, and everyone. It's I always, every year I go to the show, and one of the things I love about the show is I get to see kids that I knew when they were little, and now they're older. I get to see teachers. Yeah. I get to see musicians that I love and know, but I also get to see parents and community people that are all gathering, it's just like a huge love fest, a huge reunion. And this respect for the arts, but how it brings the community together. That is mind-blowing.
Wait till you see Juliet Trumbull. You're just going to be blown away.
I can't wait. But Juliet was one of those kids that was always so focused and worked so hard. And she's one of the kids I thought of when the show wasn't happening, because I thought, here's a kid that has poured her heart into what she loves. And I can't wait to see her.
Yeah, and she's been here in our program for 13 years.
Yeah.
And now she's a senior. She's going off studying acting next year at Wright State. Now she's, so this is her sort of finale here at Mpac. It's perfect. And, she's just amazing. And, she, of course, is always a joy to work with along with the cast. And I'll say it again, John is just like, he's phenomenal.
Oh, of course he is. Well, John's
a great mentor to the cast. I mean, that's the whole purpose of having the guest artist in the show. It's like, that's what our program, that's why we bring in the guest artists, to really serve as mentors to the younger kids. They can really follow the process.
Leo and I were talking about this before the show started, just like off camera. Go ahead, Leo. Remember what you said about that?
I worked with Missoula Children's Theater, and so I did a tour, a 9-week tour for them, and we were on stage with them. We taught them the show. We divided up the groups, and it's just so much fun.
I love it. They do great. I love that program.
It's a definitely an experience to travel and see beautiful parts of this country and really small towns where theater, it just thrives, and there's so much talent.
Right.
So much talent.
To have performers like these star artists that you bring in, but also that they are people to look up to. They're people that and you can identify with on that level as a younger person. But it's that mentorship that comes with it. That wow, that could be me if I keep going at this. I'm gonna, and on the other hand, it's not just, well, I guess you do this when you're my age and then you stop doing it.
Right.
So the guest artist is like, wow.
And not only that, it's like they're all working also with completely professional designers and a professional creative team and full production value. I'll show you a little bit if that's okay.
Yes, please.
Charles and I are actually sitting in the set. We're sitting in the little booth. The Roadhouse booth. But I'll show you, we're on the beautiful Mpac Theater.
Wow.
You can see our gorgeous 1,300 seat theater. This is, we're full orchestra pit open down here. And then you could see kind of back that we have right now from this angle, the set is a little bit layered, but you can see some of the pieces. Pieces of the apartment, and sorry, I'm a bad camera person.
This is great.
Yeah, some of the
big
room and coffee. Yeah, and you'll see this is like unbelievable. This scene, the way that it's lit, and we have we have 3 drum kits in the show. This is the full on electric drum kit that we bought. That the one that they used on Broadway. So it's full. Our little sound setup is over here. You can see we have 36 body mics in the show. So all the kids, so it's really giving them the full
experience. Yeah, there you are. So giving them the full experience. Let me tell you about the Male Performing Arts Center. This school is no joke. It is. You could be the youngest, shyest person, and you will get the same intense training, love, follow through that someone that's 18 and has been all the way up like a Juliet will get. You get the full experience at the Male Performing Arts Center. I say that from experience because I've taught there and I love that. I love that place. And Cathy, you are the ultimate. The ultimate in you treat people. You don't ask anyone to do anything you haven't done yourself a million times over. So it's tested and it's just a beautiful theater, a beautiful experience. I can't say enough about it. If you folks are in Jersey, it's an easy drive. What is the address exactly?
It's 100 South Street in Morristown.
Okay, so put that in your navigation.
The website is mayoarts.org.
mayoarts.org. If you are in the city, you're thinking, that's too far for me. No, it's not. You can take the train out there. The train is about 4 blocks from the theater. And the stop is, I believe, the Morristown stop.
Yeah.
So, there's John and there's Juliet. Oh, I can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm coming Sunday. So it's going to be great. But I've loved all the shows. I loved Shrek. West Side Story was my favorite. I'm kind of partial. It's one of my favorite shows ever written anyway. So it's probably my favorite show of all time. But I also thought Les Mis was mind-blowing. Joseph and the
That was my favorite one to do, Les Mis. That was just like, oh.
Wow. And how many kids are in this show?
36.
Right.
So it's a little bit smaller of a cast than, we typically have like over 50, but, we thought like this was actually a really good choice coming out of COVID because you don't have these huge dance numbers where I'd have 50 kids rehearsing in a studio, and it was like we could kind of, it was like touch and go a little bit for a little while in the winter when things were so bad again, and again in the spring we had some cases where, it went through some of the cast a little bit. So, we could kind of rehearse sort of in our little bubble of like the kids rehearse now, the parents. It was a very good one to kind of come back with and be able to do safely as well. So,
yeah, amazing. Okay, let me see what we have for time. We're getting close to the end of our show. Okay, so I want to thank you both so much. Charles, what a pleasure to have you on as well.
Having me.
I just think you're amazing, and I can't wait for Sunday. So if they want to get tickets, it's mayoarts.org, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And I'm not just saying this, listeners and viewers, they sell out every year. So don't drag your feet. Just get your tickets. They're super reasonable. And these are Broadway level productions. I'm not just saying that. I have nothing to gain other than I want you to have the same experience I have every year of just having your mind blown. And these kids are so invested. It's just beautiful. You're supporting a great theater, a great school, and you're gonna feel really good after you see the show. So
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time, because I know you're in rehearsals this week, and I really wanted to get you on, Cathy, and I didn't realize you were going to bring Charles. What an extra bonus.
Brought Charles after rehearsal. I was like, so
wonderful.
Yeah, it's awesome. And, thank you for being so supportive of us always. And we have such a great team here of like people like yourself that, really make it so wonderful. So
well, all my love to both of you. Can't wait to see you Sunday and break a leg.
Yeah, thanks so much. See you Sunday. Bye, Leo.
Bye. Thank you so much. Oh, I can't wait. Leo, I wish you were here. I'm going. I don't know if I'm going to go Sunday. So they have a show Friday night. I believe it's Friday at 7. Saturday they have a 2 o'clock show and a 7 o'clock show. Sunday they have a 2 o'clock show.
That's a lot.
Do
they have to bring cast for each show, or like do they double cast it?
Yes, these are kids. And like I said, they do bring in an adult, and usually it's one adult, sometimes two. Usually it's one, like a guest. And most of the time it's one of our teachers, which is even more beautiful and heartwarming, because the kids, love the teachers. There are great and just lovely human beings that happen to be talented themselves, And I'll tell you another thing about, like, when you teach, lots of times when people teach, they kind of have to put their performing stuff on the back burner, on the shelf, and, be of service to young minds and hearts, which is beautiful. But when you get to see a teacher do what they started off as, or you see another side of them, you're like, Mr. So-and-so, Miss So-and-so. You realize that we all start off as kids loving the arts, and then we grow up, a lot of us teach, and that when you get to see those teachers also perform, it's the most beautiful thing. I cry every year. I mean, I cry through the show because
some of the best times that I remember, when Broken Moments felt the best for me directing and being a part of it, is when it felt most like the camp years, in which we did a variety show every night. Wow. Every night we did a variety show, and their favorite thing was to do oh my God, the drama, melodrama. But it was always some kind of, concoct story that aliens or superheroes, and there was always had to involve stage combat. So I was teaching them stage combat at the same time that we were rehearsing, and we would tell the story, a different part of it every night, 5 days, and they were amazing. I learned more from pretending by playing with them on stage, creating the story. And what's the old adage? Never work with children and with animals. But
well, that was W.C. Fields. Yeah.
If you want to have fun,
work with
do it.
Yeah, I could not agree more. And I've been working with kids myself, and it's in a completely different capacity, but it's just the most beautiful thing. I love young minds, and we just keep exchanging energy. And that, Leo, you're a teacher. You work with kids 5 days a week, sometimes more. You know, a lot of people that are on here right now work with kids. We do want to say hello to our friend Mandar Chick Magnet. Just saying a quick hello to the regulars. Hi, Leo. Hi, Maria. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Mandar.
Feed a person a fish, and they will eat for a day. Teach a person to fish, and they will fish a lifetime. You're absolutely right. Speaking of feeding, thank you for reminding me. We did not do the food section of our show, which, of course, is called... Ready, Leo? 1, 2, 3.
Wait, I gotta find my... Okay, now I can read it.
There it is. Go ahead. Keep eating. So to stay creative, I have creative people on the show every week, and I love them and respect them. I must stay creative myself, so I use this time to cook something. Now I'm back on the keto because I have to be. How am I going to get into that bikini, Leo, if I'm not? But I got to tell you, the reason I like keto is because it's not boring and I can make delicious things. Okay, so what did I make tonight? I made shrimp with green curry sauce, unami seasoning, and put one more thing in there. Hold on a second. Unami and garlic, of course. How could I forget? I put garlic in everything. And I have cauliflower rice, which is surprisingly delicious. Because I miss rice a lot. So on keto, you can't have rice, bread, sugar, which sounds like everything, but it's not everything. And if you just...
You're an Italian.
Do it, please. So if you just do it for a while, I mean, I can lose weight in a couple of weeks. I did eat so much for my birthday month that I had to do it. Okay, so that's
a little snack.
Just a little snack. A few sandwiches, some pizza, some cakes.
A couple of chips here and there.
What did I make for a salad? Boston lettuce, because Cathy, my friend Cathy Roy Spies, loves the Boston teams like I do. Her dad is from Boston. And so the Celtics are in the playoffs now. So Boston lettuce, vine-ripe tomatoes, oil-cured olives. They're my favorite. They're absolutely delicious.
How long do you know how long they're soaked for?
I'm going to say a while. A while, yeah. Because they're, I think that's what makes them so delicious. And these have crushed red peppers in them, too. English cucumber, which I love. And I am going to put a Sicilian lemon vinegar on this, and a Tuscan herb olive oil with a little onion salt. So now, I know what you're thinking. Well, what can you have on the keto that's sweet? You have to look for it. You have to go online and look for keto snacks. This particular one I love because I love Mounds and Almond Joys, and this is a keto-friendly Mounds bar. So there's a lot. You just have to look for it. Listen. Do I wish that I could eat what I wanted every day? Yes. But I can't. As I get older, I can't do that anymore. I gain weight quickly, but then I can lose it quickly on the keto. So that's what I'm doing. Thank you.
Oh, I love it when Mandar's back.
Mandar, I know. Well, Mandar's keto dessert chocolate bar. Mandar's very busy. You see, he is out there being Mandar Chick Magnet every night, dancing his way through to the hearts of women in the tri-state area.
Everywhere, pretty much.
One night we were at Empanada Mama, which you and I love. It's open 24 hours. Judy, me, and Susie Campanella are sitting at the bar, and who is sitting next to us? Mandar Chick Magnet.
He's lucky that I went and got my chocolate Bavarian empanada because he was supposed to send me one. My
favorite dessert there. Same thing. What are you eating, Leo?
I made a little, I used a crock pot today. I put some chicken in, some Brussels sprouts, some...
Oh, that sounds nice.
Some peas, a can of cream of chicken soup.
Wow.
And some arancini di pepe.
I love that. So what are these little baby pasta?
Yeah, the little baby itty-bitty pastas.
Tiny. Acini de pepe, you know what that means? Grains of pepper. So that's small, like peppercorns. Something that size. Acini de pepe. So, anyway,
my dad loved pepper pot soup, and so that's why we got the arancini. because nobody makes it anymore. Campbell's used to make it for him when he was in Vietnam. They used to send it to him.
Really?
His favorite soup ever. Campbell's won't even give me a recipe.
Wow. I bet we could recreate that. Okay, Andy Prasky said, my teachers inspired my life. 100% I agree. I remember all my good teachers, and man, I wish I could. I did thank a lot of them over the years. I did write them letters and run into them. Some of them are my Facebook friends still, believe it or not. But there's some of them that, you know, they were older, and I'm older now, so they passed away. But
I feel like I did a 12-step amends when I had to go back and see some of my teachers.
Well,
not just because I was on anything, just because I was me as a teenager.
Well, so was I. I mean, I was hell on wheels. But you know, when you're in the arts, I think teachers get that. They get that we're also creative, because I do it with my students. Even though some of them are bratty, I know who the talented ones are. Mandar, by the way, speaking of Campbell's soup, you should look up how much a can of tomato soup has gone up over the decades in price. Yeah, I bet that's everything's gone through the roof.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of, thank you for reminding us about some politics, Mandar.
Yes.
I know Maria wanted to talk about, and it's important that we get this out.
Yeah, we have about a minute left to our show, so let's talk about it, Leo.
The two sites that we have that you were asking everyone to support when we all vote.
Whenweallvote.org, go and check that out. You can find how to register to vote and get your friends to register and their kids to register to vote. There's a lot of 18-year-olds out there that have never registered, and they need to.
It's our democracy that we're participating in.
Yes, and the other one I do it every year. It's called Postcards to Swing States. So if you just go Postcards to Swing States, type that into Google, it will bring you to the site turnoutpac.org/postcards. What they do, you ask for 100, 200. I always get 200 postcards. They send you postcards that just say vote, and they'll you can either pick a state you want to directly send to, or I usually write whichever the need is greatest. And they send me like Florida, Georgia, whatever, Arizona. And then they send a list of registered Democrats, and all you're doing is writing, don't forget to vote. This is the day you have to get, and they send you what to vote. Like one of the ones I always pick is, don't forget to remind your family and friends, because I personally am someone that if I get a postcard in the mail, oh, right, it's voting, it's primary, it's whatever it is. So I'm going to keep talking about this every week because I want to remind people.
It's all primaries. Right. We need to.
Yes, we have come to the end of our show. Sadly, the show flies by. Love everybody out there. Thank you, our regulars that come back week after week. You know who you are, and we appreciate and love you. Leo, where would I be without Leo? Jim Bell is our producer and engineer at Armed Radio. Thank you, Jimmy Bell. He is in New Hampshire. We appreciate him greatly. Come back next week. We have a special guest. I heard Lavinia is going to get it together and show up in person.
On time?
Well, that's what she said.
Wait.
Got a show coming up at the store.
Do we need to put a rating? Is she going to have clothes?
I don't know what she's going to do ever. So I'm just prepared, and she's coming next week. So if you want to catch Lavinia next week, she'll be here. Thank you, everybody. I want to thank Jim Bell. I want to thank Leo Rodriguez. I want to thank all of you. We will see you next week.
Look for us on YouTube. Our replay speakers, Spotify, and iHeartRadio.
Thank you, Leo.